because Grenada did not have an international airport at the time. So you had to get the plane from Grenada to Barbados, and then you get the flight from Barbados to England. I saw my mom's at a later stage when she came because she left Carriacou and went to Trinidad. So she was living in Trinidad, but she came home occasionally. So that's how I know my grandmother on my mom's side. My mom probably came probably a couple of years after because she left me when I was 1 year, 6 months, and my second brother, was 6 months. So it wasn't a long time.
Right. Hi, thank you for having us in your home.
No problem. No problem. You're welcome.
Mm. So, can I ask what your name is?
My name is Floyd Brathwaite. I mean, they got a lot of different pronunciation. In Carriacou, they say Brathwaite. In England, they say Brathwaite. But on my passport, it's Brathwaite. Brathwait without the I. The English people always put the I in it.
Mm-hmm.
But we just accept it.
Okay.
But yeah, originally, officially, it's Brathwaite. Brathwaite.
And where were you born?
I was born in Carriacou in Granby, right in the village.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was actually born in the little house. I wasn't born in the hospital or anything, I've been told.
Do you know why that was, or?
Don't know. Don't know. Don't know whether my mom didn't have the chance to get to hospital or she just wanted to have me indoors. But I was born at home, I was told.
So, do you know anything about your grandparents, great grandparents? You know their names?
Uh, very little. I mean, I've grown up, I know, well, my grandparents, actually my grandmother, I shouldn't say very little because I was brought up with my grandmother. Because my mom, in those time, my dad came to England and he sent for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was told I was about 1 year, 6 months when my mom traveled.
Right.
So actually, I was brought up by my grandmother.
Have you got any siblings?
Yes, got five siblings.
And where do you sit in that order?
I'm the eldest.
You're the eldest.
I'm the eldest. Myself and my brother Clifford, we was born in Carriacou. And my two sisters was born in England. And then my last brother, apparently, when my mom was pregnant, and because in those days, I don't think they had scan or anything. So she said she thought she was having a boy and she wanted all the boys to be born in Carriacou.
Yes.
So she came home for 3 or 4 weeks, heavily pregnant, and apparently it was a boy
Oh.
who is Brian. So Brian was born in Carriacou as well.
Right.
So obviously he came back to England as a
And,
three weeks old or something.
right. And did you say what year you were born? What
I
year?
was born in 1958.
So
That's
tell.
giving away my age then.
Wow. So can you tell me what was school like? What was life like in Carriacou first in general for you? From what you remember?
Life was, as growing up as a young boy, life was very nice. You know, growing up with my grandmother, I mean, she was a bit strict, but we go to school, walk the land, come home, play, and it was enjoyable. I mean, at those times we didn't have TV or anything; it was just radio. But I mean, yeah, going to school was lovely and walking the lands and playing all different games,
So with your
basically.
siblings, did you have set roles in the house for like chores and things like that?
Not really, no, not really. There was go to school, come home. Obviously, you have to. It was basically more like, what should I say? Obviously, as you get older, you walk the land, go to school, come home, and relax, really.
Mm-hmm. So what was school like? What school did you
Uh,
go to?
I went to Mount Pleasant Government School from the age of, I think it was 5 till 10. And then as you get older, you could either get scholarship or do what we used to call common entrance. and then I went to college, and but that was actually in Hillsborough then. So from about 11 till I think I spent about 5 years in college then.
What was the name of the college?
Bishop College. Yeah. When I went there, the college was by the old police station, and then they moved to the where they are now. That's I don't know what the area's called. I'm not too sure where the new college is. But you know where it is, yeah?
Yes, Mum does.
Okay.
So did you enjoy education, schooling, college?
Yeah. I enjoyed. I had to because my auntie was a teacher at Mount Pleasant Government School, so.
What was her name?
Aletia Kayan.
Kayan.
Yeah, she was married to a Kayan, yeah. So she more or less, most of the youngsters, because at the time what we used to call the ABC, so she used to teach the youngsters. So most people in my age, or probably before my age, would say they always teach them at school, because that was the first contact really, ABC.
Nice. And what was it like having a relative as a teacher?
It was all right. Didn't notice any difference. Probably obviously I had to behave myself when she was around, but I didn't see any. I didn't have any special privilege or anything. Just teacher let you. I mean, we used to call her Tanti. Back home.
Is that what everyone called her?
A lot of people would. I think most people call her teacher let you, but for ours, obviously she was my aunt, so we just call her Tanti. At home, probably, and probably some people call her Tanti in the village. Not too sure.
So, what did you get up to in like your when you were a boy? What did you get up to in Carriacou with your friends?
With my friends, we'll play different games. Once you finish school, obviously, you have to do your school work, and then in the evening, we'll play cricket. There wasn't much football. Cricket, we'll play cricket. We'll play. Cricket was the main game, but we play marbles. And go to the beach and have fun really.
Were you quite a good boy? Were you, or did you get up to
I was a very good boy because, as I said, my grandmother was on the strict side, so didn't get up too much mischief or anything.
Right.
Even at some time, when there's a certain, say, like when it gets a bit late, like 5, 6, when my other friends would be still playing outside, I had to go home because she was a bit on the discipline side, should I say.
And whose side of the family was she? Was that your dad's mom?
My dad's mom, yeah, that was my dad's mom.
So did you see your mom's mom?
I saw my mom's at a later stage when she came, because she left Carriacou and went to Trinidad. So she was living in Trinidad, but she came home occasionally. So that's how I know my grandmother on my mom's side.
So what did your parents do before they left to come to England? What were they doing for work?
To be honest with you, I was only 1 year, 6 months. So when my mom left me, obviously, I couldn't tell you what. I mean, I know that I said my dad used to do fishing and things like that before he left to come, but I'm going to say basically what they was up to.
So you're only 1 year old when what age did you leave Carriacou to come to England?
I did all my schooling in Carriacou. I left Carriacou when I was 17, going 18.
Right. So going back now, did you tell me a bit about the culture in the island? Did you participate in carnival or anything like that?
Growing up as a little boy, I didn't really. I think what did I used to do? I mean, around carnival time, they used to call, like, when you dress up like playing old master and things like that. You put on your grandmother dress or something and you make up a face and go down the road to play mass, like Fricon frighten the little kids. But then when you saw the elderly guys dressed up like proper, then as a matter of fact, I remember I was playing mass one time and I run from the mass. So my grandmother said, "Oh, mass running from mass," but which was a bit frightening. Yeah. So yeah, I took part in that. Growing up as a little boy, my auntie, we used to have like a club. So we'll have little shows,
Like what?
practice. Well, you'll do little plays. She'll write a play, and then they learn everyone of a different thing to do, and then you learn obviously you learn your part, and then you go and perform it on stage.
Is that Shakespeare? You're talking about
Like
Shakespeare
yeah,
mass?
different not really Shakespeare mass, no, just a play, like something like you would she writes a play and then you go and act. Yeah, Shakespeare mass was to do with I never played that. That was to do with the elderly guys when they go and speech one another off. So I've witnessed it, but I've never played it.
So these plays, was that quite common then amongst the families? Was that what a lot of people did?
Uh, as I said, yes, that like different villages used to have different clubs. So like if like Mount Pleasant, we had a club, Tongue might have their club. So they'll have different times when they perform different plays and so on. And then there was a certain time, like as a youngster, although I didn't belong to the Baptist church, but there was a church in I can't remember. I know there was some Baptist related, but we used to go there in Sunday schools, and then at the end of the term or whatsoever, they'll give you something to recite, and then you like have a general day with eats and drinks. I think it was called the Gospel Hall, yeah, Gospel Hall in Granby.
What's it called? The
Gospel Hall Church.
Gospel Hall Church.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, but that wasn't. I mean, my upbringing was Anglican, as we call Church of England. But because that was in the village, most of the youngsters went to the gospel hall. This is a discipline really. You go to Sunday school and teach you little scriptures.
So was that common? Did everyone go to church back then?
Well, I wouldn't say everyone, but most of the young kids would go to church. I mean, I used to go to church with my auntie in Hillsborough. That's the Anglican church. But I mean, the main reason I used to like to go to church really because after church you'll get little eats like
Eats.
sugar cake and things like that. So
That kept you in church.
that kept me. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So, what else did you experience in Carriacou? Did you experience any hurricanes or anything like that?
No, I've never experienced a hurricane, unfortunately, because I think the first one I've been told was in 1955. That was Janet.
Mm-hmm.
So that did a lot of damage to Carriacou, and then obviously this last one, um, I was in England. Actually, I was home that same year because my mom passed away, and then when I came back, I think a couple of days after that,
This is for burial.
burial came.
Wow.
Yeah. I was, yeah.
Wow.
So I think my brother and I came back like the Friday. I think the hurricane took place on Monday,
Wow.
if my memory serves me right. Yeah,
Gosh.
but it was just a few days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So going back now to when you were in Carriacou with your parents, I know if what were the circumstances for them to leave Carriacou to come to England? How did they leave? What happened?
I think in the 60s, most you know England was inviting people from the Caribbean. I mean, I've been told like to work in the factories or the buses and things like that. So I think in the 60s, a lot of people came to England, was invited by whosoever the authorities were.
So you
So my
said.
dad came
Mhm.
first, obviously, and then he sent for my mom.
So where did your dad come into England? Did he come straight into London?
Yeah,
and
my
then
dad.
stay.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
dad came to London. As far as I know, a group of them probably was staying in the same house or something. Yeah.
And then how long was it before your mom came? Do you know?
Well, I don't know the exact year, but as my mom probably came probably a couple of years after because she left me when I was 1 year, 6 months, and my brother, second brother, was 6 months.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a long time.
Do you know how she felt about that, leaving her young kids behind? You know.
Obviously, I assume that was worrying times for her, but obviously, you in that time they said you're coming to a better life, so probably she and I assumed that she thought we was in good hands. So and then she was coming probably to make a better life, and obviously to make a better life for myself and my siblings as well.
Did they have a plan as to how long they would stay here?
But I think most of the people that left Carriacou at the time said that they was only coming in England for a couple of years or something, but that couple of years went into quite a few, I would say. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I think my dad can't exactly say what. Well, obviously in the early '60s, and I think he spent about. I think my dad came home for the first time in 1966. I think I'm not too sure, but
That was when England
I
won the
think
World
that's
Cup.
when he came back. That's when England won the World Cup. Yeah.
Wow. So what was this? How did you get over then? So when did they call for you guys to come over to England? Tell me about that.
Okay. Well, I don't think my mom and dad actually called for myself and my brother to come to England. But growing up with my grandmother, she always said the only time the boys would join their parents is when I die. That's what
When
my
she
grandmother
died,
used to say.
right?
Yes. So when she died, then we could leave and come to England to join our parents. But that year, in 1977, I think she said, obviously, I suppose I was a teenager, and I don't think I was behaving bad or anything, but and obviously my brother was 2 years younger. But in 1977, she decided to tell my mom, I think it's time for you to take the boys.
So how long was that then? What period between when your parents left? We were one and a bit, weren't you?
Yeah,
Up until how many years is that then?
1977.
So how many years is that then?
Well, as I say,
Right. What's the number?
18 years or
18 years before you saw them again.
well, they came, as I said, my mother came to Carriacou in 1966.
Yes.
But if you said to me, could I remember them?
Yeah.
I would say no until actually I came to England. Then I would say I really knew my mom and dad.
How did that feel then? From not seeing them to then suddenly being
Strange,
older.
strange, very strange. Yeah, because I think when my brother and myself and my brother came, obviously there was my two sisters and my younger brother as
So they
well
had
joined.
two kids in here in the UK.
Yes,
Right.
two, two,
New
two, two,
children.
two girls. Yeah, and then obviously Brian that was born in Carriacou. But as I said before, he only spent a few months, so I didn't really know Brian really until we came. Obviously, you see photos and things like that, but yeah.
Was that odd then? Suddenly, there's just been two of you in Carriacou, and then suddenly you come in, seeing your parents after all these years, and then
Well,
adjusting for
yeah. I
two.
mean, I always
Was
knew that I had
yeah.
like two sisters and a brother in England, but it was strange at first when we came. I mean, to be honest with you, when I came to England, I wanted to go back
Really.
because I didn't like the food.
So before we go there, tell me about. Can you remember the journey to England?
Yes, I could remember the journey quite well because we left Carriacou obviously by boat, I think, and we went down to Grenada. A friend came with myself and my brother. I had a good friend in Carriacou, so I was coming to England. So he traveled down to Grenada with us. I had an uncle working in he was working at the post office at the time. So we spent the night with Uncle Lysander. We call him Uncle Lee. So we spent the night with him, and then you didn't, because Grenada did not have an international airport at the time. So you had to get the plane from Grenada to Barbados, and then you get the flight from Barbados to England. So we had to spend the whole day in Barbados as well.
Right.
So I had a cousin in Barbados studying at the time, all Brathwaite, or Brathwaite should I say, speaking English now. So yeah, and then we spend the day with him, and then we catch the flight to London.
Yes, talk to me about the flight then. So it was British Airways and not BOAC at that
I'm sure it was British. I'm sure it was British Airways. I mean, could be wrong, but I think
77.
yeah, 1977. I think it was British Airways. Yeah, came into Heathrow, and
What did you think of the flight? Were you excited?
obviously yes. I mean, leaving Carriacou and coming to London. Yeah, it was. I can't remember much about the journey now, but I'm sure I was excited at the time. Yeah. Excited and probably a bit of sadness as well, because obviously I left you know, my grandmother to come to England, yeah, and all my friends there.
Your home. So were there any other children around your age leaving for England at that same time as you?
Yeah. During those times, there was a lot of kids probably before me, kids that I went to school with left before me, either went to America or to England, yeah, at the time, yeah. Yeah, there was always parents sending for the kids at that time, yeah.
And so, who met you at the airport?
I remember my dad.
Where did you fly into? Sorry, where did you?
I think it's Heathrow Airport. Yeah. I could remember my dad and my cousin, Ben Mills at the time came here to collect us. Yeah.
Who's Ben Mills?
Ben Mills is a cousin of ours. Yeah, and friend of my dad. So obviously my dad didn't used to drive at the time, so Ben had a car. So I remember them coming and collect us. Yeah.
How did that feel when you saw them? Can you remember?
What little, obviously, glad to see my dad, as I assume, but yeah, I suppose it was joyful.
And where did you go? Where were they living then?
My dad and my mom and obviously my siblings, they was living in Deptford at the time, Tanners Hill, Deptford. Yeah. So we can't remember the journey, but obviously from Heathrow to Deptford, and I remember my mom when we came in, obviously a bit of excitement. My other siblings, was just looking at this, like probably looking at these two black boys come from, because when we were skinny at the time, so yeah, just staring at us as if who is these strangers, like yeah.
How did you settle in with your siblings?
Actually, we settled in quite well. Yeah. I mean, probably after a few hours, and yeah, I remember, yeah, we settled in fine.
Was there any like rivalry between the siblings that were born, you got and your brother were born in Carriacou, to the ones in the UK? Was there any clashes at all? Or?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't say there was any clashes. I mean, I think my sister would always say, because when my mom and probably my dad was probably saving to send for my brothers, from not my brother, myself and my brother, I think she said that she noticed like the little treats they used to have, like ice cream and thing, went down. Probably my mom stopped buying those things because she was saving to send for two sons in Carriacou. So I remember my sister making that comment.
I've seen trial.
Yeah.
And so, what were your parents doing for work at the time when you came?
When I came to England, my dad was a conductor on the buses. Those times they used to have conductor, yeah. So I think it was a 36 bus or something. I think my dad used to work on. My mom, I think if I remember, I think I think my mom used to work in Greenwich Hospital at the time, but she always used to do a lot of because she was a machinist, so she used to do a lot of sewing. So I remember my mom doing a lot of work in this big powerful machine, and these guys would come with a lot of cloth, and then she would sew dresses and things. I think it was for British Home Stores at the time. I'm not too sure,
That's a good
but
job.
I think it was, yeah. But I don't think they used to pay a lot
Wow.
for it. But I remember she sewing more or less all night, you know. Yeah.
So, can you remember what you ate when you got home? Remember the first meal that your mum cooked?
Well, as I say, I think when we came early, I don't know if we arrived on a Sunday, I can't remember, but I remember that I could remember very well she did all this bacon and baked beans and sausages and things like that, and I couldn't stomach it.
Really?
I couldn't. It just I don't know whether because I wasn't accustomed to it or full English breakfast, as my friend said. Yeah, so especially the baked beans, I couldn't.
You weren't dealing with the beans.
I wasn't. I couldn't. But now, it's one of my favorite.
So tell me, going back to food in Carriacou, what did your grandma cook for food? What was your favourites?
Going back home is like the same rice and peas, chicken, cuckoo, okra. Yeah, that was it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, similar food. I mean, obviously, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
more fresh, I would say. You know, you got the fish straight from the sea and things like that. So yeah, the food is like, I mean, Carriacou dish. I would say the main dish is cuckoo and okra. So
Mm-hmm.
uh,
And did she teach you how to cook, your grandma?
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we used to. I mean, I probably say my little brother is a better cook than me, but yeah, we could all cook.
So did she literally say to you, right, watch what I'm doing, or did you just naturally watch
I
and learn
think
that way?
you in the kitchen or something, and you just naturally pick up. Yeah, yeah. It was it wasn't like saying, "Oh, Floyd, look at what I'm doing." You just there, you see what she's doing, and then
Mm-hmm.
you obviously just grasp it.
So going back to when you got into the UK, when you came
Yeah.
here, so what was you? What you were about 12?
No, no, no,
No,
no.
what you
I
17?
was 17,
17.
18, or 18 going 19, I would say, yeah.
So what did you do? Did you go into
Okay,
college or
yeah,
school?
obviously, yeah, because I am at that age, you can't schooling. So I went to college, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I went to college and then
What college did you go to?
uh, it's called Lewisham College, I think, and yeah, on Lewisham Way. Yeah,
Mhm.
so went to college, and then in those days, I didn't do an apprenticeship, but you could do a government training course for a year, I think it was, and then that's where I went and study electronics. Yeah.
And how did you settle into to English London life? How did it feel being in London?
As I said, it was different. Obviously, it was cold, but I think the thing that made me settle in a bit better because I had a lot of my friends that I grew up with. So there was like a couple of guys that was living close to me that obviously we went to school back home together. So I tend to like in the evening time they'll come around and take us out and places like that. So we were sort of settling quite well, I would say. Mm.
Did your parents see a lot of people from Carriacou where they were living?
Yeah. I mean, I remember living in Deptford. We didn't stay in Deptford that long because obviously when myself and my brother came over, they moved to a bigger house, and that was in Brooklyn. But in Deptford, I remember there was a pub just near to where we were staying, and all my dad friends would come. They'll come, go and have a drink in the pub, and then after the pub, they'll all come up in the flat, and like 6 or 7 men there on a Sunday. And I remember my mom they all used to eat and drinks and chat. Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun at that time, yeah.
So what Carriacou, what, how can I put it? What Carriacou ways do you still keep?
Well, the Carriacou ways that we still keep is we still, when I came to England, I mean, I remember like around Christmas time, we used to go and serenade different houses.
Tell me about that. What was the
Well,
importance of that?
serenading is you go, you sing Christmas songs. You know, few of the guys obviously they're playing the guitar and mouth organ and so on, and it's basically eating and drinking really. I'm sure they still do it now, but it was mainly drinking. I would say, yeah.
And you go around
And
certain areas
I
of
mean, you didn't go to you go to people that you know. Obviously, you didn't go and knock on any strangers' door. You go by friends and people that you know, and they're expecting you as well. They'll have the table prepared with different food and so on.
hmm any other kind of like festival or kind
Well,
of things you used to do?
well, festival obviously the carnival. When I just came to England, I think I went to the carnival a few times. Then obviously cricket. You know, we used to play cricket when I came here. We had a cricket club, and then socializing with the same dominoes and things like that. So
So
that's all part of back home life. Yeah.
with these clubs, were they just pure Carriacou people in the clubs, or the
No,
cricket
no,
club
there was a
owners?
no. Our cricket club had a major, a lot of different nationalities. I think we had Jamaicans, mm, Carriacou, obviously Carriacou and Grenada is the same. So yeah, no, we had a different Guyanese. We had different people playing with us. Yeah.
Talk to me about this organisation that you were involved with.
Okay, well, the organization I was involved with is it's called the Grenada Benevolent Society, and that organization was formed, as far as I know, in 1966 when the same lads come to England, and it was a way of getting together as well. So they formed this group, and then it just grew and grew. Yeah. So when they take, for instance, when I joined, when I went to the group, my dad took me there to them. I remember they used to be playing dominoes at Ladywell Center, and then they used to have dances as well to raise funds, as I
Mm-hmm.
said, to send for the hospital and the schools and things like that back home.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, and then it just carry on. I mean, when I think when I joined the organization, David Phillip was the president at the time. And then David became ill, and there are different presidents. As a matter of fact, I was president at one time as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then it's carrying on. I mean, as I said, it's still up to this day, but we're not as active as we should. Obviously.
Did you say there's some kind of like plaque in in
Yeah,
Carriacou?
I'm sure if you go to the hospital, which is the Princess Royal Hospital, because I know that the Grenade Benevolent Society made a donations to the hospital. So I'm sure there's a plaque with the Grenada Benevolent Society name on there. And I think if my memory serves me right, even the toilet in Carriacou by the tennis court, I think we made contribution to that. And I'm sure you might see our name on there as well.
Fantastic. So, did your parents ever have like get involved in like susu hands? Did you know of anyone?
Possible, but I wouldn't guarantee. I don't know whether my mom was in it or my dad, but I've heard about Susan, yeah, but I've never really been involved.
Can you just explain what susu hands to people that don't know what it is?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I don't know if I know a lot about Susan, but in what the little I know about it is as if whether it wasn't as easy to open a bank account or something when they just came to England. I mean, I could be wrong, but probably that's. And then obviously there'll be someone, so you pay a certain amount of money into that, and then it goes wrong. So like when your turn come, you'll get that payment. But
how many people would be in this?
I think that could be, I mean, any amount. I mean, I'm not too sure. I mean, the more people you have in it, I would say the longer you'll get your turn. But as far as I know, probably it was more like friends. So if you had about 6 or 7 friends, then probably you'll do that because obviously you have to trust the person. But yeah, I don't know if it'll be legal today or not. They could say money laundering or something, but I'm not too sure. Yeah,
But different islands call it different things. I know Jamaicans call it partner money,
pardon the
don't they?
money. Okay. Yeah, I think the Jamaicans are probably more into it than probably ours than probably we are. Yeah. Okay, well you could explain it. Yeah,
Oh, good.
you could
Well,
explain it to after.
we'll
No,
get to you. We'll get to you. We'll get to you. I want to know it all. Oh, excellent. So, what else do I know? We've talked about food. So, what would you say to someone who's never been to Carriacou before? So,
obviously I'll say visit. It's an experience. I mean, yeah. I mean, Carriacou is nice. I mean, obviously, if you go around the festival times, it's more things to do. Sometimes it could be very quiet as well, but I enjoy it. I mean, I like the quiet side actually. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's, and the good thing about Carriacou, I'll say, is it's safe.
safe.
It's a very safe. Obviously, every place have different incidents or something, but I'll say Carriacou is safe and the people are friendly.
So, what do you miss most about the island?
What do I miss? Probably the weather. That's what I'll say. Apart from that, yeah, miss the weather. You're back home, you go, you enjoy it, you go to the beach. That's why anytime I go now, I'll go to the beach about 4 or 5 times for the day.
So, what does Carriacou mean to you now?
And I'll still say that Carriacou is my home. As I wouldn't say to you that I'll probably, obviously, I'm retired now, going to my second year of retirement. I haven't got any plans of, say, going back home for good at the moment, and it's all to do with health as well. I mean, obviously, but yes, I'll always call it my home.
So, did you ever think when you first came that you would go back to live when you came as a teenager?
Mm, probably in the early stages, probably you think about going back home. Probably was when you was a youngster, but then when you're married and you have kids and time just go, then you just settle in to England.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, always like going back home.
So, is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to talk about? Carriacou history.
I think we more or less cover everything. I mean, as I said, the little I know, I try to explain it to you. I mean, obviously, I mean, going back the history and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
I think you've covered
Okay.
growing up in Carriacou as a little boy quite well.
Thank you, Floyd. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time as well.